in your old kit bag and smile, smile, smile. While you Lucifer to light your fire, smile, boys, that's the start. What's the use of worrying? It never was worthwhile. So pack up your troubles in your old kit bag and smile, smile, smile.
The Soldiers' Avenue of Honour was created because 60,000 people died in World War I. The community grieved very badly for that. And in order to overcome that, in 1920, Warringah Council renamed Matheson Street, renamed the street to Soldiers' Avenue, and devoted the princely sum of £20 to purchase a stand of trees, which they then progressively placed along Soldiers' Avenue to create a living memorial for those that did not return.
Each year on the weekend before Anzac Day, a march was held in Soldiers' Avenue, and these continued for more than 5 decades. But in 1985, it became clear the soldiers were becoming frail and unable to march. So Council transferred the event to here at Jacka Park and established a war memorial in their honour. It's great to see that with the grant attained by Balgowlah Lions and the Harbord RSL Sub Branch, this memorial has now been refurbished for this occasion, and I will ensure it will be well and truly looked after for the next 100 years.
And in amongst the audience today, we have the descendants of many of those soldiers.
He won the lottery, New South Wales lottery twice, and he built 300 homes for working men. So he, if people couldn't get the deposit for a home, he would pay for it himself, and he built houses all around Harbord and Kilkeel.
That's his bugle.
That's his.
It's 100 years old, and he played that as he was an ambulance bearer in World War I in France, and he had to play that at all the burials.
I just know he played the music on the Manly ferries as they used to go across the harbour when they first started going across the harbour.
When he was really poor, he was a clown
in Ashton
and a
Circus.
trapeze artist in Cole Circus and then Ashton Circus as well for many years. He had a big and interesting career.
Today, this Avenue of Honour remains as one of the few integrated examples in New South Wales of those living memorials established after World War I. Its trees and memorials are now heritage listed, and all 3 levels of government have been working with local organisations to re-establish the avenue to its former grandeur.
Mick Griffin, representing Freshwater Surf Club, and its very proud history, is planting a wreath on behalf of 11 fallen soldiers who were members of Freshwater Surf Club prior to World War I. Lest we forget. Okay, we move down to what we call the Holloway tree on the corner of Eric Street and Soldiers Avenue. So we just keep moving down. Elizabeth Smith, who is the Deputy Principal of Coolaroo Public School, but her claim to fame is that she's a Holloway.
It is with great respect and love and sense of being and sense of connection that we give our honour and pay homage to our relatives, the Holloways of Harbord, or Freshwater as we now know ourselves.
I am back here now, and I see trees that I saw this small, and they're huge, and I think I'm fairly overwhelmed.
Can I just take the opportunity to introduce the Premier of New South Wales, the member for Manly. We call upon him to cut the ribbon for this information plinth. This is a tree that is dedicated principally to those people who provided service to the Australian community in times of international conflict, who never got much in the way of recognition.
This tree is a combination of the Warringah Council and the Harbord RSL Sub Branch, and together we planted this tree to recognise all those other people that are not recognised by all the other ceremonies that's happening all around the coast. So this is for the unsung heroes, those that served but didn't get mentioned.
You see the mural behind you here. The person who painted that is Philip Brown, and he's here. We call upon the Premier to just turn a few sods on this particular tree, which is a lone pine taken from the original lone pine on the Gallipoli Peninsula, and it's in honour of Fred Austin Reynolds, who was shot dead at Gallipoli, at the Gallipoli landing.
Well, I think for all of us, we will look at that and the tree that's there for him now very dearly from now on, because very soon we are 100 years to the day that Fred was on one of those first boats that went into the cove. He was 20 years old, and as we look around our 20-year-olds down here at Freshwater, he was one of them. He served, and he could be any one of them. But he made the option when he heard that his country needed him. He went to war. He was an engineer, so the engineers were first into Anzac Cove. And as they went in, they came under fire. There were 3 people that were injured, and he went to each and every one of them to pull them to safety and put himself at risk. And on the 3rd one, he lost his life. And he is recorded as the first in Anzac to lose his life at Gallipoli. And to think he was and always will be a Freshie boy. We all love this community, we love the area, we love the beach. He was exactly the same. He answered the call of his country, and he went there for every single one of us.
And then we move along to what is known as Iodine Joe Saunders tree. Eddie Saunders is here. Welcome, Eddie. Eddie's come down from the Gold Coast specifically for this occasion.
We'll dedicate this for Joe's mother. She was heartbroken when he was shot over there.
My name is Pilot Officer Robert McNaught. I'm associated with the 305 Squadron of the Air Force Cadet Unit. We're here to commemorate those that went into battle and most of them who didn't come home.
We move along to the Sugate tree. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this tree has a very strong association with Harbord Public School. Billy Sugate, who was the son of the local policeman at the time, was killed in World War I, and he was the only student from Harbord Public School, former student, who was killed in World War I.
The 4th Battalion were engaged in the Battle of Passchendaele, Flanders, Belgium. It was during this battle that I lost my life, on the 3rd of October 1917, aged 19 years and 5 months.
Okay, we now move up the street to what we call the Heroes Tree. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the most important tree in many respects in Soldiers Avenue. We'd like to call upon the Premier and Wendy Machin, who, apart from writing all the histories of the people that you've been discovering today, lives in this house here. Okay.
Christensen Richard, Lieutenant, died of wounds, 4th October 1917, Belgium, aged 25, Freshwater Surf Club. Foster George, killed in action, 15th of January 1917, France, 25, Freshwater Surf Club. Coucher William, Lieutenant, awarded the Military Medal with bar, killed in action, 7th of June 1917, Belgium, age 25, Freshwater Surf Club. Hancock Charles, killed in action, 3rd of May 1917, France, age 26, Freshwater Surf Club. Logan Horace, Corporal, died of wounds, 13th September 1916, France, age 24, Freshwater Surf Club. Newhouse George, killed in action, 2nd of May 1915, Lone Pine, Gallipoli, age 24, Freshwater Surf Club. O'Reilly Peter, Lieutenant, killed in action, 3rd of May 1917, France, age 25, Freshwater Surf Club. Padden Frederick, Corporal, killed in action, 12th of June 1915, Shrapnel Valley, Gallipoli, age 31, the Surf Club. Sadler George William, Corporal, killed in action, September 1917, Belgium, age 20, Freshwater Surf Club. Tapfield Rowan Albert, killed in action, 16th of August 1917, Belgium, age 32, Freshwater Surf Club. Tomlins Frank, killed in action, 16th of May 1916, Belgium, age 19. Last known address, Oliver Street, Freshwater, the Surf Club. Saunders Joseph, Ideen Joe, died of wounds, 20th of May 1918, the Somme, France, age 25. Last known address, Surfers Parade, Freshwater. Sargate William Billy, last known address, Crown Road, Queenscliff. Billy Sargate, as we've been told today by the children, was one of the first pupils of the newly opened Freshwater, now Harbord Public School in 1912, aged 19, killed in action, Flanders, Belgium. Jacka Leslie, who this park is named after, killed in action, 1st of December 1915, 8 days before the evacuation of Gallipoli started, age 34. Leslie Jacka is buried in Shrapnel Valley Cemetery, Gallipoli, where he was killed. Reynolds, as the Premier has spoken about today. Fred Austin lived in Crown Road, whose plaque is at the entrance to Soldiers Avenue. Fred joined the Army 1st of August 1914, aged 20. Only 8 months later, Sapper Reynolds was found himself in one of the lead boats to land on the beach of Gallipoli in the early hours of the 25th of April 1917. Today his memory will live on with the planting of the Lone Pine tree in his name by our local member and Premier Mike Baird. Lest we forget Fred Reynolds and all the fallen from Freshwater. They shall not grow old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them. Lest we forget.